To do a buttonhole, go from stitch number 1 to the first option, buttonhole step number 1. You'll notice up here on the black part of your stitch area, it says foot B. So foot B is our buttonhole foot. The little red marks are in the front, and on the left-hand side. So don't put it on backwards. It can happen. So we're just going to go ahead and put this foot on. When we put it on, you're going to notice that the threads will kind of be on the top side, and that's okay. Before you put the foot on, you can take your button and even lay this out and get an idea. Okay, this buttonhole is going to be almost to the larger hash mark here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll use that as my mark today. Or you can take your button on your fabric and mark the beginning and end, so you know where to start and stop to turn around for the perfect length. So whatever works for you with your button. So set the foot down, click it in place. What the key is that as you set this down, make sure that the button is pushed all the way towards you. So with one of your fingers, hold that and then lower the button foot down on the fabric. Now for the very first one, I'm going to just hold this thread off to the side. Once I take a few stitches, I'll cut it and get started. You do need to make sure, you're going to do a test one anyway, and set your stitch length between 0 and 1. That little picture is a picture of a buttonhole, indicating that's the buttonhole range. So as I start, I'm going to just hold this thread and take a few stitches. This section is going to come down the right side of the buttonhole. There's a few stitches, that's enough. I'm going to just clip that so it's out of my way. And now I'm going to stitch until my marks line up with what I've marked on the fabric, or the red mark is going to come down really close to that larger one. Actually, that's about right for both of them. Make sure your needle is out of the fabric before you turn to the buttonhole step number 2. So you're going to turn the dial, and it's going to be indicated by step 2 and step 4. Step 2 is the bar tack at the bottom. So about 4 or 5 stitches back and forth. Needle is out of my fabric, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to step 3. Step 3 is the satin stitching that goes on the left side, and it's stitching back to the beginning. So what I want to do is watch where the red lines are meeting up towards the top here. Kind of slowing down a little bit when I get to the top. There we go. I see my stitches are about even, so sometimes I stop just a little bit before I get to the top, but this looks really good. And then back to step number 4. It's a bar tack, same as step number 2. Couple stitches on each side. Excellent. Bring that needle all the way to the top and let's check it out. When this comes out, we'll cut the threads nice and close to that last stitch here. And notice now my threads are underneath the foot, and those will be easier for next time I start. And that's a beautiful buttonhole. We can go ahead and open it up, test our button through it, and if it's the right size, we know how to continue on and make multiples all the way through. Now this foot also has the ability to take and hold some cording, so I'm going to get this set up for a corded buttonhole and do one more. Another thing your book is going to say, and I didn't tell you before, is to reduce the top tension. So if I take that down to 3, what it'll do is pull the satin stitching a little bit more to the back side and make it look a little prettier. Now a corded buttonhole would be made on fabric that's got some stretch or some really thick areas. You're going to take a piece of cord, divide it in half, and on the back side here, hook half of it back there. I was noticing this is almost a little bit slippery for this foot. So I'm going to just kind of hold it, and with my third hand, lower the presser foot down. Here we go, and lower. I think once it's lowered, it will kind of hold itself. Once I take a few stitches, there's little grooves here, but they're not really holding this thinner thread. And what it'll do is it'll stitch, and I think once it starts stitching, I won't have to hold this as much. But I'll just go ahead and stitch one more buttonhole. We'll come all the way down. That looks good. You're going to notice how full this looks. It's going to be stable. Here we go. There. Now that should actually hold even better, but I'll continue to hold it just in case. And now it's going to stitch up the other side. Oh, it actually looks so much prettier, both probably because I've reduced the tension as well as added the cord. Here we go, step 4. And needle up to the highest position. But take a look. If you do a corded buttonhole, the steps go like this. Let me trim this out. Come close in here. And then you take one of the cord ends and give it a little pull, whichever one wants to kind of pull through. That one does. Pull it so it disappears at the top, and then we're going to just take and cut these cords really close so they'll disappear inside. Talk about stable and beautiful all at the same time.